So let's just we'll ramp this up a little bit. We'll do a quick intro with us, and then we'll do an intro with Brendan. How's that?
Who?
Some guy. You've seen him on the thing. This is a good one for us. We have a returning guest.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We have a returning guest to the show, which is that in itself is hard to believe. A gentleman that you have seen before.
He deserves no introduction.
So here he is. No, episode 70. We are graced with the presence of Brendan Wayne once again. Brendan Wayne, who you met him at Terrificon, Rob, last year. I saw him from afar, which is just about that was close enough for me, and also
Sure.
court ordered. So we had a great experience down there at Terrificon with Brendan, and we have since kind of kept in touch with him via social media and the typical bullshit. So he is going to be on today as soon as he figures out how to use his Zune and downloads all of his updates. So what are you up to, Rob? What's in the news today? Talk to me.
Nothing exciting.
That's great. So I did a little deep dive
For
on
better
Brendan.
or for worse.
Yeah, for Brendan. And I went back into the IMDb and found a couple of gems that I really want to ask him some questions about today. Did not know that he was in a project with William Shatner. And no, it's not Star Trek. And what else? We're going to talk about the Gina Carano controversy. We're going to talk about the future of the Mandalorian. We're going to talk about Baby Grogu and who gets custody on the weekends, and Star Wars, the future of potentially new roles that he's taking on, and anything else that we can think of. Maybe touch a little bit about Carl Weathers. Brendan
Gina Carano?
Carl Weathers, yeah, I mentioned that. You must have been sending out a work email just then. Talk about Carl Weathers. We'll talk about the Mandalorian. We'll talk about Gina Carano.
I'm scrolling through Brendan's stuff right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking for ammunition for things I can use against him. That's all. That's all this is.
So we'll take it from there.
Is he in? Where is he?
No, he's not in. Is
he
out?
Has he
out?
Reached out to you at all?
Yeah, he texted on the group thread there and said,
I'm using my phone for this, so I turned it on Do Not Disturb, so I didn't see that.
Yeah, he texted and said, do I have a link? And I said, go fuck yourself. And he said, seriously, can I have a link? And I said, please see the above. And he said, seriously, I need the link. And then I said, I emailed it to you. And he said, get in it now. So we can chalk that up to technical difficulties. Let me see here. Well, since we're waiting, why don't we do a quick ad spot, since we need to fill them so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, our show is brought to you by Chris's Clippers.
This episode of the Too Critical Podcast is brought to you by Chris's Clippers. Chris's Clippers, when you absolutely positively have to have someone cut your hedges who has a 4-year college degree. Chris's Clippers. Call us today. If not, go fuck yourself.
Thank you so much to Chris's Clippers for sponsoring the show. We appreciate it. We know that it's technically the wintertime, but Chris's Clippers offers a variety of services, including stair shoveling, roof rake, snow removal services. They will come out and they will treat your driveway for, they put down the dry, not the dry ice, the ice melt and things like that. And they also offer in-house hand job services, which they give you using heated gloves, which I've
Over
heard.
the pants.
I'm
Over
not
the pants.
I'm not a skier. If I was, I would have heated gloves and I would use them for hand jobs. So please go to their website, chrissclippers.com, and you can find out more information about that today. Rob, we talked on the phone yesterday about the Beekeeper, the Jason Statham film.
Right. I need honey.
All right. And I sent you a bit of information, I believe today.
Yep, I believe
today. And I emailed it to you and I said, look at that. Look at that. Look at the box office for the Beekeeper. It's fucking outrageous. It's outrageous. It's still making money. It's still making money.
On that budget, it's doing pretty good.
What was the budget?
20 million?
20 million. It's made like
40. Okay. 40 million.
And it's made like 100 and
he can't figure out how to get in here.
No, got it on the phone with blah 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 the school. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
What?
Brendan is on the phone with someone from school. So oh my god, we should get the phone number. Can you imagine? So the Beekeeper, which
I can imagine.
$40 million budget. I think it's made 132 million so far. And you're talking about the movie Argyle, the Matthew Vaughn flick that came out, which is essentially a ripoff of Romancing the Stone. That cost $200 million to make. And how much money has it made so far?
120, right?
Worldwide? No, I think it made $18 million.
Oh, sorry. I think you're talking about Beekeeper. You're talking about the Matthew Vaughn movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 18.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it's 18 million.
It's a shockingly low number.
Yeah, it's atrocious. So
I mean, it wishes it performed like Aquaman.
It wishes it had bees in the title.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
I need honey, so I got bees.
I got honey. I can tell you this, right? If you're gonna hire me, yeah, I'm not done talking, mate. Don't step over my lines. Like a herd of elephants. If you want me to do this job, I can guarantee you I'm the best. In fact, many people have said I'm the bee's knees. It's a long way around for a bees joke, but I felt like I had to do it.
You done?
No, I can't wait to fucking see it now. I so want to see this movie.
I still can't get over the fact that Statham read that script.
Get over it.
I have to do this movie.
Okay? He can read at least the 9th grade level, and he's very proud of it. So get over it.
So stupid question I have to ask.
There are no stupid questions.
Only it says live.
Huh? What's this?
It says in the top left corner, live. I just want to make sure live also means recording.
It means we're live. Yeah. This is. Let me tell you something.
But it means you're recording also.
Let me tell you something a little bit about the biz and the lingo that we use, okay? Some people say live. It's not true. It's live, right? If you ask Jason Statham what it means, he might pause a minute. He might have to ask his hot wife. And then she would say, it says live, dummy. And then he would say, it's live, mate.
We're going to
live. And we're recording.
We're going to have to cut all of this. This is all going to get
No way. This is going to be its own separate episode. This is going to be episode 70B. We're like the house in the back that nobody ever visits. Do you know what I mean?
Episode 70B, the bee's knees.
Episode 70 will be the house that always gets our mail. That's what episode 70 will be. I'm sorry. No, that's my package. Oh, you didn't see the B? The little tiny lowercase b right there? That's mine. We're a Cape House. Oh, here he is. Here he is.
There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The one and only Mr. Brendan Wayne.
Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Bitches.
Can you hear us? Me? Yeah, we can hear you. You sound great.
Unfortunately.
You, John Wayne? Is this me?
Hey,
what a fucking whore. Let's see.
Hey, is that the same room? Is that the same room from last time? Is that wall finally painted?
I like that your mouth is moving. Just so we're clear, I can't hear a word you're fucking saying.
Oh,
wait, there you are.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Did you put a bit of crown molding and a solid color ceiling?
Yes, I did.
Good Lord, that's a bold choice, but I think it works really well in that room.
First of all, it's a garage.
You never know it. You never know it.
That's just paneling. Like I don't even know. That's like this. I'm pretty sure there's a fucking homeless guy living up there. That's great.
Well,
yeah.
It's
nice. Support all. Yeah, unity, equality, whatever. Inclusivity. Let's fucking go.
Just leave a plate, an offering, I think they call it, out at night, just so he doesn't, let him keep to his own business.
Yeah, I'm gonna claim that arsenic isn't for my wife; it's for the fucking
right
guy.
Yeah, stay away from the arsenic. How are you, Brendan?
I'm good, man. How are you boys?
Good. It's good to see you. So, we did a little bit of an intro already. Nothing scandalous there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you flip the camera differently, it'll make you hear better.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, now we're making an Instagram podcast. Flip the script. Hello, forehead of security.
Hey, wait, I didn't mean to use we.
That's right. No.
It's
acceptable now. Can you hear us now?
This is fucking crazy. This is absolutely fucking crazy. Oh, tell me I'm live. Tell me I'm live.
You're live.
I have been behind this whole time.
You're on your phone, aren't you?
Yes, I turned the Wi-Fi off, and for some reason now it's better. I don't know why.
Did you unplug your phone and plug it back in?
I blew on it like a NES game. Yeah.
Good man. All right, great. Can we do this? Here we go.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell. Imagine.
Give him the intro. Hit him with the intro. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Episode 70 of the Too Critical Podcast. Welcome, Brendan Wayne.
You have failed me for the last time.
Hi, Wayne.
Mr. Wayne.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
Cash bar.
Last 2 questions.
3 questions.
Did you know that you were always my favorite?
Have you had your hearing tested lately?
What do you say we cut the chit-chat, a-hole?
I bypassed the compressor.
Why don't you put her in charge?
I'm you, you're me, I'm horny, who cares?
This is creepy, but I like it.
I beg your pardon?
Kindly shut your noise hole.
Good for you, Pedro. That was a Star Wars joke, Tom.
Thank you. Tony Stark's a big winner in Vegas, baby.
Not today, motherfucker.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, let me explain that joke to functional people in the crowd.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Hello there.
What did you say?
Hello there.
Say that again.
Hello there.
Stop saying that. Go ahead.
Please welcome to the Too Critical Podcast, Mr. Brendan Wayne. Oh,
what? That's brilliant.
Seriously,
that was hilarious.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Whose kid did that?
Whose kid?
It was amazing.
Yeah, we got these kids in public access in town. They're great. We got this one kid, Mongo, put him on a leash. It's terrific. It's a long story. Anyway. All right.
Hungry.
Tate
go ahead.
Fletcher did it. He said he was looking for some side work.
I did not see any agency quotes or let's fill up your soul. So I don't buy it. That's my man.
We paid Tate in hats. So
yeah.
He was happy to do it.
Hats and booties. That's what he loves.
and beard cream. He needed a big bucket of beard cream.
It's easy for me to talk. I'm good and far away from him, so it's fine.
That's right. Yes. Never within earshot. Let's get after it. Huge announcements a few weeks ago. Mandalorian.
Yes,
film.
and I support you. Unity. Ally.
Yes.
No, not that announcement. My bad. Sorry, different story. Go ahead. What?
We'll get into that too. Don't worry. The announcement for the Mandalorian movie, which is starting when? June?
Sorry, you broke up there.
You fucker.
I can't tell you that shit. I get in trouble.
All right, so you can't even say when
It's
you're
starting. Can we say that?
Yeah, well, you tell me.
What did they say in the whatever announcement?
They said it's going to be partial live action and partial claymation, which I think is a bold choice. And they said the last half of the film, which is an hour and a half, so it's already over a normal runtime, is going to be shot in black and white. They're going to dub it in Farsi. They're going to send it overseas and sell it as a foreign film, and you guys will clean up at the BAFTAs. That's what I heard.
I mean,
they've got to be all true.
I mean, you really have some insiders.
I got I keep the old ear to the grindstone. You know what I mean? I got it on the street.
Here's what I know.
Okay, go ahead.
I know I've been told a lot and can't tell you, and it was recently.
Okay.
So what I will say is this: I look forward to carrying that little shit diva Grogu around for. Yeah, that's why I'm working out again. It was that and the fact that my wife threw up twice looking at me. But other than that, it was fine. Yeah. Don't come out of the shower quickly, apparently. Who knew?
When you wake up in the morning and 20-year-old headshots are taped to the bathroom mirror, that's a hint.
I wish I was in the house right now so I could show you on my daughter's vanity. Somebody has literally done that exact thing, posted a 20-year-old headshot of me, and I'm looking at this headshot and I want to fight my representation because I never choose them. I'm like, here, go. It's your job.
Right.
I literally look like someone has my puppy bleeding on the other side of the fucking camera. I'm like,
yeah, motivation.
It's fucking terrible.
You don't have the looking at the watch or going out for the pass. Jacket over the shoulder.
I would have taken that 100%. I literally look so soft. Yeah. I'm like, what was going on at that period of time in society?
Can I ask you a question about headshots? All right.
Yes.
How many times have you been in a room with a bunch of guys and you look over?
Okay, wait. Different headshots? Or are we still talking about pictures?
No. Well, and I normally would say professional, but that doesn't really mean anything either.
I live in the valley. I understand, but let's keep it real.
You're going into a casting call, and you're in the office. You're waiting with everybody else. How many times you've looked over and seen the guy that has the headshots where he's in a karate gi, he's in a construction hat, he's dressed like every time.
I forgot. There's like a name for him, but like. Asshole. If you have any representation, but for the picture, like they'll have 4 different pictures on a headshot, like 8x10 or whatever, and it's like him fishing,
right,
and then him reading a book in the park,
yeah,
and then like the fucking cardigan and a pipe, and you're like, dude, what the how bad do your parents not love you? What happened to you?
People are still doing this.
Oh, I mean, now we don't go in rooms anymore. Like everything I do, unless you're going in to meet, like for a screen test, everything I do is on my phone. Like I film myself here, so it's weird. Yeah, but yeah, that's a big difference. Now, I guess we, as a union, because I'm part of the union, so like I bought in, I paid into it, like, so I'm gonna get paid back at the end. So I can say we have the ability to go. We fought for this. Like they have to film us and upload it for us to the production.
Yep.
All I can think of is like, oh, that was a good thing to fight for. So now anybody who comes in and makes them work like that, which they haven't done in years, they're like, oh yeah, no, here, let me upload that into the fucking trash. You're never getting a job. Goodbye.
So, well, you're meaning that if there's somebody on the other end in the casting office that either wants to manipulate who gets a bump or who doesn't even get through, they just delete it.
Just the fact that you go in and make them work as opposed to just giving them nothing to do other than send out emails. That I'm pretty sure they're going to be like, oh, you want to come in the office and use my camera and my time.
Right.
And we didn't have an office before because we didn't have to pay for it because we were doing everything remotely.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm good. Bye.
Yeah. No, I never understood where thousands of people would come in and like the casting companies would rent out like the Sheraton and they'd see thousands of people, but it's a keg party, right?
Yeah.
You get people
And
to come in.
5 people that really looking at.
That's right. And they're buying their lessons, they're selling their lessons, and they're doing headshot sessions and shit like that. And they're getting a check from the casting company because they're doing the bare minimum of what they're supposed to do. Yeah. And then the people behind the camera, they don't give a shit what they're doing. I probably 80% of the time they're probably not even hitting record.
I believe that. I do believe that. That's a good one.
So, will you be shooting in the States, or will you be going out of the country to shoot for The Mandalorian?
If I know John, it's definitely going to be. We will definitely be shooting here.
Okay, and are you guys actually going to go outside, or is it all going to be done in the volume, all inside?
We do. Usually, we do.
A mix.
What do you call it? A mix of it. In the last 2 Boba Fett and season 3, we did more location shooting than we've ever done.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I think they like the volume. I just think that at the end of the day, they don't want to. The cost probably becomes more than location shooting, which shocks me, but that's what I hear. Yeah. How do you like those nails?
Yeah, they're not going to be. Are you on a over 40 softball team, or what are we doing here? Or is that just a rainy day? Rainy days?
This is what happens when you have daughters.
Is that a gorilla giving the finger?
That's me. I think that's pejorative. I don't think that was necessary, but that's fine. Apparently, you do talk to my wife. The wax to my back. We're fine. Fuck. How did this become about me?
It's a bold choice. I noticed the nails match the wall, so
yeah, well,
that makes sense. The carpet matched the drapes.
Is
Good
it
for you?
Wow, and it went there.
Good
that
for
was
you.
fast.
All right. So, so not only
we can go up from here.
We're gonna. It's a roller coaster. So this year you got to play a character in the Ahsoka series, Lieutenant Lander.
Lieutenant Landers. Yep.
Okay. So how did that come about? Who asked you to do it? You know, how did it go down?
We were coming out of season 3, getting towards the end, and Dave Filoni was like, "Hey, I think I got a part for you." Blah blah blah, and I was like, "Okay, here, I'll do it. Only if I don't die."
Right. Oh,
you
good.
can't kill
That's
my
smart.
character.
That's smart.
Right? Like, yeah. I'm like,
I want 2 terms. I want a mustache, and I don't want to die.
Yes. And he goes, "Yeah, you know, we'll see your face." I'm like, "Cool. I don't want to die. My character can't die. That has to be in the contract." And he goes, "Okay, but it's got some magic in it. Why I'm wearing the helmet I'm wearing, who I'm named after. Okay. Like there's a whole thing that goes behind the scenes, not in like Star Wars like characters that you've ever met before, but some people who work on the show.
And Landers, you're named after. Dear, it'll show you flying around in the X-wing, just answering people's letters from fucking space. I think that's a great show. I watch that show every day of the week.
I didn't want to give it up, like, because it's Dave's story. You know that Ann Landers got Dave through a real bad breakup in high school, and so
that can't be true.
That is not true. Are you out of your mind? I didn't even remember Ann Landers before you said that.
Dear Freezing and Hoff.
Just climbed out of a tauntaun, and I'm trying to find where my soul lies.
I'm in a terrible relationship. He doesn't want to be with me because I can't bear his children.
My father.
I'm having trouble. I'm having. That's a great
my sister.
We're fucking stealing it right now. We've stolen it. It's already done. We're stealing it. How fucking great. Oh, yes. Lieutenant Landers answers all the questions. Next time you get in that cockpit, I swear to Christ, if you don't have at least 5 letters, that you just like, hang on, guys, and you take them out of your vests. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm gonna have like I'll have a pencil. Is there a space pencil? I'm gonna get something like that to make sure that like I'm like, I just have to respond to this subscriber.
Yep.
Your mom really broke their heart when they came over and moved things in the bathroom.
Yep. Chewbacca, he's worried about his natural hair.
He really doesn't wipe well enough, and I don't want him to sit in the couch. How do I approach this conversation?
Oh my God.
And by the way, it does stick to the fur.
Every time he gets on the Falcon, it's just it's an inflatable donut with just like air fresheners just piled in the center. Who keeps putting this here? No, it's fine. We're all sitting on them. It's not just you.
No, everybody gets hosed down before they come upstairs. It's fine.
Oh, I love that.
I'm hoping in the movie that I get my soccer mom wagon or my soccer wagon back. Let's be
right
judicial about that, because I am the soccer
shaggin' wagon.
Yeah, I think that's past. Jen, don't you? Like, because he's got the kid. Unless we're bringing the kid to the park and we're trying to kind of be like, hey, single dad here. What's up?
Yeah, but don't they age fairly quickly? Do they age quickly or slowly? Because he's supposed to be 50 something and he's super young, right? So I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, they look literally like
babies.
Babies, that too.
Right.
And so it's weird that, how do you know if he's aged or not?
I guess once he starts talking and paying taxes, I don't know how it works in space. I don't know.
He's older than Din.
Right.
So I mean, like, it's weird. It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
It's more like I'm carrying Benjamin Buttons around. I mean, but I'm looking for that space lady who, likes a guy who's adventurous, but is finding his moral compass within some guidance and fatherhood. I think I got stories to tell.
Yeah, we're gonna write that classified ad too. And leave your real email address. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm really good with that. I recently posted a video of something of an alligator trying to eat a hippo, and then the crew of hippos came running over, and to save the and they whooped that alligator's tail.
Right.
And you know my email address. Do you know my production company's name?
Is it Four Fingers Deep?
It's similar. Wait, you guys don't know the story behind my production company's name? No. That's definitely not for live. That's not for podcast consumption. But I will tell you, it's called Hippo Jaw.
Okay.
And I have something around here. Where the heck is it? I know, it's a good shot of my chin, under chin. It's great. Have you guys, by the way, I got this from, and is that too shiny? All right.
No.
Do you see who that is?
It's Rob. Who is it? Wiz Khalifa? What do we got going on there?
It is
Sasha Banks.
Yes.
Right.
Now you know that's one of the Mandalorians from Bo-Katan's crew, right?
Yes.
So I couldn't tell who it was.
Oh, you fucking racist. All right, so
all that packaging looks alike.
Hold on. I did just put a gun in front of the camera to the store. So look, there it is. The hippo jaw.
Okay.
I just want you to. So when you hear the story later, you guys, it'll be something we carry with us for the rest of our lives.
Right. This makes for great. This is great for the audience. Let me tell you a story.
So I'll tell the audience this. It stems from me being in the hospital in a moment I had with my 22-year-old daughter who was at Boston University on scholarship because she's badass. But she had come to visit me because they thought I was going to die. Ooh, now I'm really bringing up the mood on this. So I did technically die a few times. So that's beside the point. The point was there was a point where I was I was bleeding lying in the bed, and I didn't know, and my hand was just pouring blood, or covered in blood. And I literally looked at my daughter, and she goes, "Dad, you've never been I've never thought you were scared, even in the hospital, until you looked at me and your eyes were as big as saucers, and you were like, ah! All it was, it turned out I popped a stitch, and it was just dripping down, and I didn't know. But the fear, well, I might as well just commit. So the fear was that I had lost
one of your
my
hippos.
testicles. Yep, one of the pieces of the jaw at that moment, and that was what I said to my 22-year-old daughter was, "Oh fuck, it's all unraveling. I'm bleeding like a stuck pig from my junk."
Right.
And she goes, "Dad, you've been in fights. I've seen you sounds terrible in the ring, and I never saw you
roadhouse situations has she witnessed you in?
Cockfights. Clearly he's a cockfighter.
I just it's hilarious that you keep saying so that you say cockfight. So my wife's working on Lilo and Stitch in Hawaii, and there are cocks walking the street constantly. So she'll send me a picture, Stanley, and go, "Another Hawaiian cock."
Nice.
The cock of the walk.
Yep.
So I really enjoy this. It's really, really making me happy.
Okay.
All right, so we're moving on from Hippo Job Productions.
Yeah.
It came from a bloody testicle. And moving on, let's go.
Wow.
I don't know how much you need to delete, but you need to delete a lot.
That's a good segue to.
Oh Christ! We'll animate that whole segment. Will just be animated.
We'll blur it.
You know. Yeah, we'll blur it in animation.
It'll be like Big Mouth.
Claymation.
You just have it pop on my shoulder. "Hey, you're losing one of me. It's unraveled in here. Oh my God, it's like a big rubber band in a baseball."
Oh my God, look at this bleeding junk. Your granddaddy had a huge cock just like that too. Where'd all that blood come from? Brendan's asshole? His gaping asshole? Oh, weird. Taking a weird turn. So if they put all that stuff in the Mandalorian show, I mean, people will be there for it.
Right? I mean, come on. Yeah. We'll push the envelope like we did in first season. He got the Razor Crest back, but it's got a disco ball.
Maybe Gina Carano can bring the Razor Crest back to you.
What?
Nice segue. Great segue. So speaking of Gina Carano,
I love Gina.
So hang on one second. I gotta do one.
Speaking of Elon Musk.
Jeez. Honestly, I don't know anything about that really, but I will say this. What? I thought he was messing around. He's like, "I'll pay for anybody's lawsuit."
All right.
Apparently he will.
Here we go. Okay. So they're obviously a big piece of news that popped up. Gina Carano is pursuing a lawsuit against Brendan's boss. And a long time ago,
you made that really personal.
A long time ago, we're going for the whole Rico thing. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, Gina had posted some stuff online. Rob is somehow out of the conversation.
Hey, you're gonna get into this, and my answer is gonna be, yeah.
Honestly, look. This is something. Okay, so this is something I think seriously that we have to talk about. I know that the world's a crazy place right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I will say this: what she said about the entire situation, whether or not Han shot first or Greedo shot first, is open to interpretation. And she clearly has her opinions about things. Other people have their opinions about things. She thinks Han shot first. Other people think Greedo shot first. That's pretty straightforward, right? And I mean, that's footage from the original. And we know, as history progresses, things change, right? A lot of people like to change details of history and things like that. And they try to retcon certain things. Star Wars has gone through various iterations, and they've added Greedo shooting first, Han Solo moving his head, Han Solo shoots second, so he doesn't come off like a like a bad guy, right? Which of course Hollywood was progressing towards making all of the bad guys empathetic, right? The audience had to feel something for the bad guys, so we were headed in that direction.
I blame Anthony Hopkins.
Well, I mean, and once you start casting all these handsome actors to play villains, people just don't want to believe that they're bad guys anyway. Like Hollywood stopped casting.
It's like high school girls.
Yeah, like there's no more Lee Van Cleefs anymore, right? They're just handsome guys that are playing the bad guy.
Not always. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Mission Impossible 3.
I tried to fart and a little shit came out. I just shorted. Right, now let's go.
Okay.
Solid.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go Tom Cruise, you know what I mean? I think he probably has the pick of the litter there. But so I know it's a controversial topic, but all I will say is, you know, if Gina Carano wants to believe what she wants to believe, that's great. If someone else wants to believe the Greedo shot first, I guess that's their thing. Anybody?
It's true. It's all, you know what I say to all of it? Just remember, you can say anything you want.
Cock
but
balls.
There is a reaction. That's it. Like,
sure,
you don't get to stop the reaction if they can't stop the talk.
You know, is and as long as everything is measured, right? And you have people have lost objectivity a long time ago, and you think about all the other things people say about Star Wars. Keep going. Back a bit. Okay.
Those centimeters.
You think that's for his jewelry? He needs his jewelry.
Hey, what's over your head?
Larry Legend.
But with who?
Big Three.
Ah.
Mikhail,
right.
Parrish, and Bird.
Larry and Curly. Larry and Moe and Curly.
So you guys, I think I said it last time, but you do know that I have a love for a Celtic, right?
Yeah, we talked about it at Terrificon.
Okay.
Dennis Johnson.
Okay.
Dennis Johnson.
Did you say
Nope.
DJ?
Yeah.
No, he hates DJ.
You hate DJ?
Fuck that freckle face motherfucker.
Yeah.
What about Len Bias? You big Len Bias fan?
Oh geez, why would that's just hurtful? Like I'm not even a Celtic fan.
Back in the 80s, were you team Bias? Huh?
Are you saying you're Len biased?
Wink, wink.
Hey, Len Bias might have been Jordan before Jordan.
Yeah, if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike.
Exactly. But why would you even how would you bring up Len Bias? That poor son of a gun. God,
he is
heartless.
he is totally fine. He's living in Miami, Florida right now. Yep.
With my grandfather and Elvis.
Let's make that fucking movie. Imagine that.
You know, they were supposed to make the True Grit together, but the Colonel wanted all music rights, and so
Elvis and John Wayne
were going to do True Grit, and instead it was Glenn Campbell.
Wow!
Because the Colonel said no, not unless you give us movie rights or music rights.
Unbelievable. Well, you know what? That may have been for the best. Right?
I mean,
how many songs would they have shoehorned into that thing?
God, it would have been like the original, like all of a sudden it was a musical and my grandfather's mouthing words again like he did in his first serial.
Oh.
So my granddaddy did those whatever, like those serial movies they did in the theaters because nobody had TVs. So this guitar drops down and he's Randy the singing cowboy. Drops down out of the tree, like two strings, and he starts playing this thing. And he so clearly cannot play. And he's absolutely clearly not singing. And then it's Gina Autry sitting behind the tree while they're filming, singing for him.
Unbelievable. Because they couldn't drag the microphone over to where Gene was. He had to physically be in there. That's like making your first movie in high school, right? Like you thought everyone had to be there, like nothing was done off camera.
Nothing. Yes.
Well, that's so funny you say about the guitar coming down from the tree, though, because that's the scene from Top Secret with Val Kilmer. Yeah.
How good was that movie?
Oh, it's terrific. My kids watched it for the first time a couple weeks ago, and they thought it was the greatest. The underwater fight never been done since. Never been done since.
Then the Bosco. He's drinking the Bosco into the. God, I loved it.
Oh yeah, I know a little German. There he is over there. But like, you think about, they did an underwater fight scene, which probably took a week, maybe even longer, right? And you totally forgive the fact that you see the bubbles coming up because they have scuba divers down there that don't have the tank with the bubbleless respirators.
Yeah,
and all that
tanks,
stuff. And you think about what that would have looked like today.
Oh, yeah.
They would have been like, oh no, this is going to cost $3 million to do. We're going to need the best divers around the world. And those guys had,
it's called Avatar.
Yeah, right.
Aquaman 2.
Exactly. Yeah. And
The
those
Lost
guys had,
Kingdom.
Those guys had.
It's called Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Landers. You see how I did this? Lieutenant Landers.
It's all back to you, huh? It's all
the
back
way
to
back
you.
in. Just to be clear, I found her.
You found
I just want to be clear. Ann Landers and Ahsoka. I found the letters to Ann Landers, but that's different.
He found Anne Frank too.
Yes.
Too late.
All Anns. He found all Anns.
He's feeding all the ants. Yeah.
I couldn't see her, but she was there. What now? Where are we going? I forgot. What road are we on? Are we still talking?
Yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Oh man, I would tell you right now, there's not a greater reason why you love Mando than Carl Weathers. I mean, I talked about it with you guys, I believe, but walking onto your dream of being in Star Wars and then being told not only are you not getting fired, but you're here every day for the whole season and you're going to be donning this costume. After that kind of wears off, and then you go, I shouldn't be here. I'm not like, you think of Alec Guinness and you think of, fucking any of those guys. Like, you go, I'm not in their league. And so you get a little frightened, and then you see, one of your heroes walk in, and you're like, that's fucking Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, Action Jackson, Dylan, like
Chubbs Peterson.
Yes, like you made me laugh and cry. Like as an actor, you hope
and do steroids.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can make you do anything. Those are your choices. Let's be real. They showed a great example of how not to let your steroid train you. Thiel's going to do some Olympics that I think I can compete in. By the way, did you see this?
No.
Yeah.
The billionaire is going to do his own Olympics, he's going to allow everyone to use enhancing drugs.
Yes.
Encouraged.
Yes, I did see that.
Well, but the thing is, so all he's doing is he's taking the veil off the Olympics. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
But anyway, so I digress. I go back to Carl and I say this. I'm walking around on that set.
When's the first time you met him? When's the first time you met him?
Like first 2 days of shooting, I think it was. So I had to sit down and do the scene where I'm getting the bounty puck from him. I walk in and I kid you, like for the first hour, I am watching, like trying to do this scene with him, and I'm talking, and he can't hear me. And yeah, I'm wearing the helmet, but it's like I don't have that problem normally. But like for now, finally, he goes, "Hey,
speak up."
Speak up. He did. And I looked at him and I was like, dude, you're he goes, oh, okay. Like he knew exactly what was coming. I'm like, you're the first time my eyes were sweating with my friends in a movie theater. Like I was like, dude, you kidding me? And then from that point on, he understood before even I did that he was going to be my mentor. He was going to be responsible for allowing me to have the confidence and the permission to just go own this role. Whether it was me trying to run up onto that ramp with the kid after we get ambushed and he comes in behind me, and like trying to figure out how to make that look good because the ramp is like that. And so, I'm running up and everyone's like, okay, so let's shoot that again. They're trying to be nice. And Carl just understood me, and he understood that, hey, fuckface was better than, so let's see what your motivation is. Maybe you could like float like a butterfly up the ramp. And Carl's like, hey, how the fuck would your grandfather, he didn't say fuck. I take that back. He said, hey, how would your grandfather go up these steps?
Oh,
and I looked at him, and it was a moment of just pure honesty. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm not him. Like, I can't, you know. He goes, good, then do it like him because you can't be him. And I was literally, he confused me so much that I went back and did it. And when it was like, they were like, that was perfect. And he looked at me and smiled and just nodded his head. And I was like, oh, Jesus, stop thinking and go. And he did that for me constantly.
So I think everyone, you know, when you ask about Carl Weathers, always goes to Apollo or Chubbs, Peterson. Some people might say Predator. But for me, one of the favorite things that he ever did is I loved him in Arrested Development.
Oh yeah. And so overlooked. Oh my God, it's so good.
My wife and I, to this day, like if there's leftovers from dinner, like one of us on a pretty regular basis will be like, you put that in a pot with some broth, now you got a stew. I just loved that, like Carl Weathers, playing Carl Weathers, obviously like a successful Hollywood actor, like was always obsessed with what he could make a stew out of.
Yeah.
And I love that he was willing to play that and kind of make fun of himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Force 10 from Navarone was phenomenal. I mean, he's in there with
Semi-Pro.
Semi-Pro. Obviously, Predator was a big one. I remember I was in Rhode Island in that summer and we went to see it. I was underage and God damn, was it violent and so great. The 80s were so great.
Arms ripped off.
And he should have been bigger than what he was after that in Action Jackson. He deserved a bigger shot in the standalone action movies. He was exceptional.
We talked about that. You know, I don't think people recognize enough. You know, he was a transition from the I don't know how you say the word, black exploitation movies. Yes. With like Shaft and those and like Superfly.
Yep.
He was the
bridge.
He played an incredibly highly intelligent CIA guy. I know it's still an action movie, so you know, let's get real. But like he
could carry it.
Yeah, Apollo was not a stupid athlete. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they didn't play to the stereotype. And I think part of it for Carl was you couldn't hide his intelligence. That dude was, I mean, every day we would sit, like I could talk to him. I was getting ready in season 2 for my kids' championship soccer game that I was coaching. And I was nervous and I said it to him and he just got all real calm. And, you know, I was just saying, oh, he goes, you seem fidgety. I go, yeah, I got a game coming and I lost all my math. No, I said, I got a game coming and I'm a little, you know, stressed about these kids. And, you know, he loved his kids. Like we talked about that stuff all the time. And I think he really enjoyed the fact that my kids were a big part of my life. And so I said, I don't want to fail these kids. I want them, you know, I want the best for them. And I want the pressure to be off them. And he goes, Bill Belichick. He's your guy. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight Apollo Creed on a set. Why? Yeah,
you said that. You said that inside though.
No, 100%. I literally just teared up and just said, stop looking at me so hard.
Right.
But he said,
isn't it funny how your mentor went to another mentor that was on the top of his game? Yeah.
This is what I mean. He never stopped teaching me. And he said to me, hey, do your job. And I was like, what? He goes, that's what Bill told his players. Tell them to do their job. If they do their job, they don't have to do anything else. Keep it simple for them, but you tell them and you just make them do it. And then we were sitting in the chairs and he said, what do you say? I said, do your job. And then he goes, do your job. And then all of a sudden we're doing like a Meisner technique acting, but like, and then we're in.
And then he goes, literally, no, Brendan, we're doing a scene. Do your job. Read the lines. We're not talking about soccer anymore. Like it's time. Grab the kid. Let's go.
You egocentric bastard. Just pick up the kid and get it in front of your helmet. No, he did. And that was it. And it was a Bill Belichick. And it's hilarious, you know. But yeah, Carl, we went to, like, nobody goes to plays in LA, but we went to plays. We went to see Emily, who plays the armor Swallow. I probably shouldn't have spaced that out like that.
I know twins, the Swallow twins. So I do. Catherine and Sarah. Yep.
Wow,
I
you
always
named
thought
them.
it was a miss. I always thought it was a miss that Sly Stallone didn't include Carl Weathers in the Expendables movies. I always everyone else was in it.
Like I feel like something must have happened, and I don't know, but like something must have happened.
A grudge there, maybe.
With
I mean, he
the
included
Apollo
everyone
never
else he's
should have
ever
been
met.
killed. They never should have killed Apollo. It made me cry.
Rocky IV would not have been nearly as good if Apollo didn't die. He had to die to make it what it was. Him beating Drago never would have meant as much.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he had like paralyzed him, like maybe they could have done that. But like
that would have little Stephen Hawking moment.
Rocky, make sure you throw the jab.
Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Throw in the teetotal. Throw in the teetotal. Goddamn autocorrect. Throw in the towel.
When is my flight to Epstein Island? I hope Brendan Wayne is there.
I love the Mandalorian. I love little baby Grogu.
This podcast is never going to see the light of day.
Show me more of the kid.
Right.
It's not pedophilia. He's actually older than me.
Star Wars.
Now I'm gonna get removed from the cast because jokes.
Oh,
All right, no, seriously. All right, let's get back to this.
So you watching Letterkenny or what?
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. Oh, so not only that, I went all in and made my kids 14.
I'm a Canadian
16.
citizen. I moved to Ontario.
That opening scene, oh my God, my kids were literally, their faces were like, and I can't breathe. I'm like just snot.
The alliteration in all of their opening, the cold opening, they get better and better too.
It is, and just they're really, they set a bar. They are so damn good.
Yeah. What was it like to work with him as a director? How many episodes did he direct?
I love it.
Yeah, and what were the changes like in his personality when he would direct? And is it something that he preferred over acting?
I think he liked them both, and they were very different. Like my impression from what we spoke of, when he was acting, we used to talk about it all the time. Like we tell our parts of the story. We're not trying to pull anything towards us that isn't us. We got to tell a bigger story, tell our parts, and he was exemplary at it. And then when he went into directing, he was so, you get on these shows and they can be formulaic. And people can kind of like just assume, well, you're the lead, exactly what's going on all the time. And so you just fake it like I do. Or you have somebody who's like, hey, listen. So season 2, I was in the hospital. I missed most of his episode, but he had demanded, he was like, no, I need him for these scenes because it's just not coming off the right way. So he pulled me in and made me reshoot certain things so that I could be in his stuff. And that meant the world to me. And then, that was a little bit, but then comes season 3, watching him, it's the kid, it's Wesley Kimmel, fighting on the sand and Carl knowing how to fight, and how to really sell it and trying to impart that on Wesley, and get the most out of him was incredible. But for me as Mando, if you go back and watch the episodes that he directed, season 3, you're going to see more physical movement from me because he said, I need him. Because in season 1, we tried to make him more like Yul Brynner in Westworld, Mando. And so he got a little more human by the end, and it was mostly in his actions towards the kid, but he wasn't moving around a lot.
You're talking about like the body language?
The body language of Mando, because you got to be careful.
A bit Terminator-ish, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you don't want it to be like this. You know, like it looks like a bobblehead if you don't watch out.
You get into, when you play the guy in the suit, you get into that the Power Rangers effect when you go from the actor to the stunt guy in the suit, and it looks like, well, we know who's in that suit. It ain't him.
You said Power Rangers. I was like, wait, what?
But you know what I mean? Like if you watch
100%.
the actors in the suits and then they go to the stunt people, it's like, holy Christ, guys! It's like stunts, but on Broadway. Do you know what I mean? They're playing it for the back of the room. Every movement.
Like I see that with like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, I see that with like, I don't know. Like I think Ben Affleck is the only guy who actually looked similar in size to the guy who might have been bigger physically than the guy who stunted him in Batman. But so it was a big change in Mando for me. Hopefully the audience caught it. But it was, Carl said, I need you to be more animated because you're becoming more human and less doctrine. So you're going from I'm this almost Death Watch level Mando to you're making your own choices. You're challenging the system. You went back to the waters and bathed yourself and made sure you didn't have any Munda. Like the whole thing's good now. You're truly a Mandalorian again.
You're starting to feel things.
Yeah, I mean, yes. That sounds gross.
Show me your hands. So what is it like when
it's cool? Hands out of your pocket. Put them in mine.
13 years. The trick is you just cut a hole in one pocket. That's the trick.
Father, that is not the body of Christ. All right, go on. What'd you say? Nobody else had that in the sacristy? All right.
So what is it like on set when an actor comes in to direct? Do personalities change? Because I'm always curious about this. Always curious. For instance,
that was a nice Donald Trump move. I'm always curious about this.
I'm always curious.
You got to repeat it. Yeah.
You've got an actor on set. I hate to use him as an example, but Michael Cudlitz, Walking Dead, great guy, great show, Walking Dead, took a bat to the head, Louisville Slugger to the head, great guy.
So did Opie.
Yeah. So if you get a guy who's an actor who's in all the episodes with everybody else, and then all of a sudden one week they say, we're going to let him be in charge and direct the episode. How does that change? What is the crew like on that day or that week when they know that someone else is going to be behind the wheel that was in front of the camera? And I mean, how does that work? You take a guy who is an actor and all of a sudden now he's in the Directors Guild and he's getting, but do you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I understand.
Okay. So you take the guy.
So you touch on a lot of things there. And there's, first of all, the first thing that I look out for is ego, and not necessarily from the director themselves.
Okay.
Especially if I've worked with them frequently.
Right.
It's usually from the crew, because now they've gone from pulling herding the cattle in to now that person's telling them how to hurdle, because now the director can be like, look, this is what happens on this show and I hate it, so I'm not putting up with it. And to a certain extent that was apparent and a welcome relief in a lot of ways. But you got to watch out for those who are like, I should be directing, not this. And that's where you go, okay, pump the brakes. We got it. We're doing something here. Right. No matter what your feelings are on that, let's go on. And that's, there's a fine line. Have I seen moments of weakness? Yeah. Have I now in the director themselves? They generally tend, especially if there's somebody in the cast, they generally tend to be openly vulnerable in the right spaces so that you don't see them like that where they're leading the crew. And it really does matter. I know it's just a show or a movie, whatever, but it's like any team. They'll feed off weakness or they'll feed off strength. So if we're together, we got to show strength. If we show weakness, it has to lead to strength, and that's kind of the way it goes. So with Carl, he just had too much experience to ever even remotely come close to failing.
Yeah.
Like he's just, the only thing that I would you get worried about, like with Carl, is he's, God rest his soul, he's older, so it's like, is that he's older? So is he able to relate? And if there was anybody ever prepared to do that, it was Carl. So he just, he commanded respect. Now Taika, he directed, and he was different. Like he's an actor who has a really cool vision. So there was a lot of you had to just understand that he was going to tell you how to do it, and you're okay with that, like physically tell you how to do it.
Right.
Or, might just be like, you're my puppet, so live with it, kind of thing. But you can't take that the wrong way, because it doesn't mean anything. The other thing is that they're going to be gone at the end of that episode, so
right,
you don't have to hold on to anything. Now, I would say this: the first actor that ever directed me, Kevin Bacon, in The Closer with Keira Sedgwick, and that dude was amazing. And I think that was his first thing he ever directed. And they were a great family. Like, they were just a great set. He was awesome. I got to work with Barry Corbin in that one. So good. That was really cool. And then what was it? Actually, that's a Kevin Bacon. Hey, bro, put me on your Prime show. I'm ready. I'm the guy. Let's go. I just had to throw that out there in case he's watching your episodes.
Do you want to come to Boston for that?
100%. I'd run backwards through a cornfield naked to get to Boston to go do that.
Really?
Yeah, I would, in a heartbeat.
So just for the record, you would come back to Boston for a part if you were asked to do one.
Oh, God. I'd move there. I'd go live somewhere by the stadium. What's that little area called? I forgot.
Which stadium?
Boston. Come on, the Red Sox. The only one in the city.
Fenway.
The North End?
No, it's not North End.
I don't know which.
The North End is by the Garden.
Are you talking about the Garden or Fenway?
No, he's talking about Fenway.
Fenway. Like, my daughter lives right there. What's Brookhurst?
Brookline?
Brookline. There you go. There we go.
That's fine. We'll send you a charter card.
Hold on. The fact that I even know it tells you that my hate for Boston teams does not extend to the city any longer. That was the greatest surprise ever, was that Boston was clean when my daughter went to school there.
Clean.
Boston's awesome.
It was. It was unbelievable. I was like, besides the snow, this is a pretty great city.
This is a little.
It's better than New York,
right? You're starting to have feelings. You're starting to have real feelings.
It's because of Carl. Season 3 brought me to my other half.
Hang on one sec. We're not done yet,
Wait,
guys.
We're not done yet.
Brendan's had some stuff in the works, and I just
Do you
wanted.
know how big a chew I had in my mouth in that clip? Like, I can't believe they let me friggin'. I mean, that whole movie.
Sponsored by Kodiak.
I mean, 100%. Like, it was like I would take like a quarter of the can every time. And be like,
yeah. They had it was an ice cream scooper, and you just lump it into your mouth like Popeye eating spinach, but spinach that causes cancer. So Brendan's been working on some stuff. I have a clip from one of his latest projects, and I wanted you guys to see now. A bit controversial, I will say that, but here it is.
Check it out. It's a John F. Kennedy Pez dispenser. Oh, good thing I still have my Bobby Kennedy Pez dispenser.
It looks great.
Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's true.
Yeah, no. So speaking of projects and classics and things like that. We talked about all these new projects that are coming out and stuff like that. So Rob and I, a very interesting thing we saw last week was so the movie Argyle, Matthew Vaughn movie came out. It cost $200 million to make. It's made $18 million so far. And we were talking about the Jason Statham film, The Beekeeper. I think it's been out for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. I'm a beekeeper. To protect the hive. The beekeeper.
And it cost $40 million to make, and I think it's made like $132 million already.
They got my money.
Right? Did they really?
I loved it.
So Rob told me about it yesterday, and I absolutely have to see it now.
I want to give my very brief synopsis, and I want to see if you agree. So my whole thing is like, again, with a movie like this, would I ever say like this is a great movie? No, I wouldn't. It's a dumb action movie. But
hold on. No. You know what? Don't speak like the Academy Awards. Let's speak like the humans, because we need these movies.
No, I love them. Oh, listen.
So why isn't it great?
I'm just saying, like, it's not like a theatrical masterpiece. I'm sorry. I have a really hard time with all these action movies nowadays where they go, we got this one guy who's a badass. And they go, okay, how much of a badass is he? And they go, we're going to have 70 Alpha team members and SEAL team members and Secret Service with firearms,
FBI,
and
HRT.
and he's going to kill them without guns.
Oh, but he's not going to kill them. There's a bunch of them. He's just going to maim enough so that it can go on.
He killed quite a few. Again, I'm not trying to diminish the movie. I told Tom, you have to watch it. Like I told him, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
But you can't kill the good guys. You know what I mean? So like, how do they balance that story?
Yeah.
And not because if they kill the good guys, then he's a bad guy, no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, again,
like there is black and white. It's but I agree. You're right. I take it back. Great. I think of like,
it's like a guilty pleasure watch. Like you put it on and you just watch the action and enjoy it. You're not. If you want to pick up plot holes, yes, there are plot holes. I'm sure there's plenty of them. You're not watching it for that. Like this isn't Memento. Like you're watching
Memento with Jason Statham.
You're watching this to see Jason Statham just go nuts and fight. And you know what? They give you what you want. It's never boring. I mean, you never
the South African.
You never.
That dude was awesome.
You never go more than 15 minutes without a really good action scene.
I keep waking up and finding these fucking notes all over the place.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do tomorrow?
My fingers are sticky from all the honey.
Most likely, kick somebody's fucking ass.
I thought they got a little literal with the. I think they got a little literal with the Beekeeper.
Yeah, wasn't that? I mean, they did push that. Like also, like the action, like every 15 minutes, they were like, "He's a beekeeper.
He's a beekeeper."
And like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then half the people didn't. I love that Jeremy Irons just kept trying to tell everyone how like better the Beekeeper was than them. Like when he was talking to all the Navy SEALs.
Big motivator. Yeah.
Oh, I forget what the line is, but he says something like, there's 15 of you in this. That was the wrong accent. I went to go to
SEAL Team 4.
Yeah,
more like SEAL Team Snore. Am I right,
but
guys?
he says something. He says something along the lines of like, compared to him, all of you are pussies. Is what he said.
Yeah.
And not one of them complained or argued. They're like, okay, yeah, this guy's that good.
We heard about him.
I know. We've already taken your time for over an hour, and we got a few more things Tom wants to show you or talk to you about. One thing I have to get off my chest that Tom and I have been talking about, and I'm curious, because you're actually in the industry. Like, what are we looking at here?
A really unfortunate tattoo.
Is that yours?
Dick? Oh my!
Or is it an X-wing?
Oh, beautiful! Jesus. My God, I've never wanted to get in an X-wing so bad in my life. Huh? Want to fly my Y-wing? Why? Why not? I don't know.
Tom and I were talking the other day about movies coming out this year, and I went through like every weekend coming up and like the movies that are slated.
Did you guys see Argyle, by the way? Did anyone?
No.
All right, moving on. Go on.
I can't remember a year with less movies that I wanted to see than this year. Looking at the slate of movies coming out this year, there's like 4 movies that I actually want to see.
I'm in this business, and I can't I literally don't know one.
The only ones for me, I want to see Deadpool 3 with Jackman and Reynolds.
Okay.
2025 now, they say.
I want to see.
I mean, but have they jumped the shark on Deadpool 3, or was it that always the gig? Like they were always.
Well, the whole movie, like the
Yeah.
first movie, he kept, I mean, he literally stapled under his mask a picture of Hugh Jackman's face on his face.
Yeah.
But like Deadpool 3, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, I'm looking forward to. Tom, we went through this. Well,
Ghostbusters, you're right. Yeah. Frozen Empire, I agree.
Despicable Me 4 was like number 5 on my list of movies I wanted to see, and I love Despicable Me. Like it's not them.
But that
the next
be that
Planet
high.
of the Apes. The next Planet of the Apes movie is coming out 2024.
Yeah.
Oh,
but there's
I
only
like those.
But there's
They
only
were good.
out of the in the entire year, there was like 5 movies we were looking forward to, and like half of them have already been. Top Gun would have, or not Top Gun. I'm sorry. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2, but that got delayed into 2025. So I mean, it's a slim docket as far as I can see, and I know that with COVID, there's going to be some lag from that, and maybe that's why. But
the strike.
So this is the problem. The strike is the biggest thing, obviously, because we had to push so much, and the rules were so different than the other strike that we've had that it didn't allow us to shoot anything that had been written already.
Right.
So that really hindered. But the pivot that everyone is about to do back to movies from streaming is taking a second. Part of it because of the strike, but part of it because I don't think anybody understood. Like, look, this is why streaming is not profitable for them, and it's Netflix started with those DVDs, right?
Yep.
And it was like a gym membership.
Yes.
People would pay. Oh, you're gone. Where's your voice? Nope.
It was Blockbuster delivered to your house. That's all it was.
Yeah, but the thing was, you would forget you had them. You wouldn't order them all the time, so they were just making money, right?
Yes.
Then when they took the DVDs away and went, we're going to go to streaming. We got you guys all beat. They had no idea how much it was going to cost to pay to stream it for everybody. And they didn't think everybody was going to binge. They didn't think it. So all of a sudden, Netflix is running a model that everyone's enjoying us, but monetarily, they're paying Amazon to put this up, right? So Disney, everybody who's jumped into the pool now is like, wait, we shouldn't start in the deep end, and that's the problem.
I told Tom years ago, I said Netflix is a failed model. Like it's not going to work. They can't keep spending this kind of money to make these shows and movies for something that we're only paying, at the time, whatever, $14 a month for.
No, it's not that they are making enough money to make the shows. They're not making enough money to pay for the servers. That's the only thing. It's having enough bandwidth to put those shows up
right
all day, every day, in every house.
Yeah,
that's where the lack of planning came.
Right.
They're making their subscriber levels. They're making money even with people giving passwords away. They're crushing it. They just, first of all, they pay too much. But people say that. But the reality is they don't usually pay good residuals because they sign it out in the beginning.
Right.
So they try to cut. But my thing was I couldn't figure out why they wouldn't stick with streaming. Like all of a sudden we're going to go do a movie.
Wow.
And I go, that's got to be that has to be a business decision.
I got to tell you, I was a little off on what I expected to see here. Netflix revenue from 2023. Do you have any guesses here?
They did not make any.
No, they did. I'm shocked.
320 million.
Not even close.
600 million.
You need to start with a B, not an M. 33.72 billion.
What?
I take back everything I said.
Holy Christ.
Hand up, I was wrong because I kept saying I don't know how they can. Now, granted, I don't know that can't be their profit. That has to be their total income.
Yep.
And obviously, obviously, like they spend a ton of money with everything they do between the comedy specials, the TV series. You know, so what's the Stranger Things 5 budget? I can't even imagine. But wow, I thought it was going to be like 20 million.
So
really
Brendan, hearing all that, then why was like the forefront of the argument about AI? Because it seemed like every time now, and listen,
I'll tell you what. So here, I'll just make it really easy for you.
Okay.
Simply put, AI wants, like, we're never getting the genie back in the bottle, but we really do. It was like when my grandfather died, we had to go to all the states. It wasn't me. It was my mom and her brothers and sisters went to all the states and lobbied for them to pass a law so people could not use his image.
Yeah.
Because he worked hard to have that image. So, you know, the toilet paper that says, you know, John Wayne toilet paper, no shit sticks to it. You know, it's funny, but it's not ours. Do you know what I mean? Like,
is that a real thing?
Oh yeah, dude. Like
Is it really?
Yeah, dude, it's funnier than shit. But it's not licensed by us. So we're not making any money off that. He's not making any money off that. And so it's very similar with the AI. Hey, look, they took my full body movement. And any CGI they're doing with Mando and all is coming from me. There's a reason why. Do you know what I mean? Like, and Lateef, like, all you guys are going to cry later. And Lateef, whatever. But the idea behind that is, you know, we can use it at any point in time. Like, that's in our contracts, those kind of things. And once you do that, and this is who it hurt the most. So we pulled in background artist into SAG, right? Gave us a huge number of people because the acting pool is this, and then you got everybody else. And so you have to fight for those people, right? Because they're part of your union. Those were the ones who were going to get taken, which were, hey, we're going to bring you in for a day, and we're going to take your image and likeness, and then we're just going to multiply it 1 billion times. And we're going to make this whole thing. And that's literally, I mean, they weren't the only ones, because it also eventually is going to creep up. Like, you're going to, you know, like these deep fakes that are going on.
Yeah.
Like that's where we find the fight. You know, we had to fight for that, for a future, but we were fighting for a lot of other things that just didn't get spoken about, whether it was, you're going to pay into our, you know, pension fund, you're going to pay into our health fund.
Right.
Because last time they did you know, little fucking shell game on us, and a bunch of old timers could not keep their insurance all of a sudden. They were, you know, there's just not any roles for them either, so it's not like they could have done session fees to keep their insurance. Ed Asner, actually, God rest his soul, he had started a lawsuit and they won it. But I mean, that's the kind of, you know, penny, you know, no movie in Hollywood history has ever made money. Like my grandfather's movies, even though all they do is throw it up on streaming, they're not, you know, they're just paying residuals. They act as if that still doesn't make them money. They're still not making money on that movie. I'm like, huh?
So
crazy.
But you say all that, but like every single time they put a camera in an actor's face, they were literally saying robots are going to take our jobs, which there's probably a lot of people out there that were misinformed. But when you jump in front of the camera and say robots are going to take our jobs, that was a lot to handle, right?
Was it though?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
When we tell you we will not be having our jobs taken away and giving to robots.
Yeah.
Talk to the people in Detroit.
The people that don't have water?
The people that don't have fucking jobs.
The actors in Detroit.
Because the people that don't have jobs, because who took over the industry?
No, those are real robots, not AI.
Yeah, but hey, we saw Luke Skywalker look young in season 2.
That was Sebastian. That was Sebastian Stan.
But
it absolutely was not.
But you also had a YouTuber that could do it better than the union guys.
No, he crushed it, and they hired him.
Yes, well, yeah, but you said it yourself. The acting pool was small. You guys went in. You brought in all your other background.
We fought for our union
because there's strength.
You
in
against
numbers.
unions?
I'm sorry.
You against unions? Is that what we doing here?
I'm not a union guy. No.
You're out of your fucking mind.
No, I'm not. I own my own business. Rob owns his own business.
So do I.
That's great.
So what am I gonna? What I'm not gonna look. You get big, you run the risk of having a union come in and demand things from you.
Right.
The flip side of that is not everybody's kind and good like you guys. And I hate saying that because I don't like either one of you. But I'm going to tell you right now, we looking at these guys at Amazon having a piss in a bottle. Like, let's be real.
Right.
Like we have to demand humanity, and in some ways the unions helped it. Now, maybe that's just the Italian side of me telling you don't fuck with the union. But I have an uncle who was one of the first guys to, go to federal prison on racketeering here in California. So you decide. You tell me is there a good to a union? Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a bad to a union? Yes.
Yes.
So
yes. But
do I find that my union requires anything of the top 5%? Nope. Do they have different rules? Yep. Is it any different than the world I live in right now? Nope. Doesn't make it okay. I'm just saying, that people have to get off their ass and fight for things. I don't know when I got on my soapbox, but I'm there.
So,
but they got to get off their ass and demand things like in their neighborhoods. That's why I do what I do in my off time. I don't just coach my kids. I coach other people's kids that my kids have no relation to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I make my community better. And that's part of the unions. And look, I want more small businesses. Our country, our government does not allow the laws of monopoly to be applied where they need to be applied. And that's killing you. That's killing anybody on a small business, anything like that. And it's really sad because we need human business because that's how we get better.
Right. So my mind went directly when all these people were out there and they were fighting. They're saying robots are going to take our jobs and things like that. And I don't remember any of those same people that were out there fighting for that were out on the street fighting when cartoons went digital. I don't remember them out there in the street fighting saying, hey, you're taking jobs away from all the physical animators. They weren't out there.
Was there social media back then?
No, but I have a question. Did they fight for it?
I'm sure someone fought for it. I'm sure the animators.
No, you can't say I'm sure. You can't say I'm sure. You have to tell me. Did they fight for it? What union were they part of?
I don't. Did they even have a union back then for that sort of thing? I don't know. But what I'm
saying. So now you're making my argument.
What I am saying is that there were people that were artists, and technology came along to improve the workflow of how they did their work. A whole bunch of people lost their jobs, but all the actors who weren't affected by that were not out there saying, hey, the technology is going to take all these people's jobs. But only when the actors were threatened to potentially lose work did they come out and get vocal about it. Am I right or wrong? And
yeah, I don't see the point of what you're saying though, because you're talking about, first of all, I think you're talking about apples and oranges. I don't think if you were saying union and union didn't stand up for union, then I'd understand. But if you're just saying, where were they back in 1987 when things started to go digital, I would say to you, probably the same place actors were in 1994 when commercials started to go non-union and they allowed it. So they probably were not in union with each other. Like, to me, you can't hold a group responsible for a group that isn't with us. Like, IATSE is a different union than us.
Right.
Now, one thing that did occur during this time period was the UPS strike.
Right.
And the way they backed us and we backed them. And
it was strike fever, though. That was all related. Everybody started seeing everybody getting headway, and they all did it.
So what do? We get, like with the animators, there's no doubt. But like, my boss is one of the guys you speak of, right? Dave Filoni. It's one of the guys you speak of. He's still doing his art. He's still doing his animation.
Right.
Also, let's say this. So let's assume your business isn't the first of its kind, right?
Yep.
Let's say it started 50 years ago, right? This kind of business, whatever it is.
Yep.
If you don't gain the knowledge to advance in your business, is it my job to save you? Or do we stay on wooden wheels and say cars aren't going to be good? We're going to stay on horses and buggies? Or should we just allow, like, do we scream and yell about the stagecoach driver who never cared to learn how to drive?
No, but so then that argument is, if AI comes along and there's a more efficient way to do it, then we embrace AI.
No, that argument is either you fight for it now, so AI, which is not an advancement of acting, but an advancement of entertainment. And that's two different things. What I do is act. Some might say badly. But what
I thought I muted my mic during that part.
These animators are incredible. But if we move along and they say in entertainment, well, we can do it more efficiently this way.
Right.
How do you stop it?
You don't. And I understand that it absolutely has to be regulated. Like you said, like they motion capture your movements and stuff like that, which is totally important, especially for those type of roles. When they get into fucking with background actors and they say they can use their likeness in perpetuity and they pay them for one gig, that's horseshit. Okay.
Yep.
I will say this, however, that somewhere, I'm sure they already have it now, and I'm sure people are already cranking it out just because of what happened with the unions and the strike, is that these motion capture studios are getting people to just walk and do whatever, and they're capturing a whole bunch of different people and they're multiplying them into crowds. And
they've been doing that for decades.
But that
I did Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, but that will replace.
I played the guy in that.
That will replace all the background. You're going to see a time when there are no background actors at all.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Now the question is,
yeah,
does the audience care enough to demand that it doesn't happen? Just like, let's go big time here, in Congress. Do the people care enough to realize that Congress is where we make the change more than the head of the country? If we don't change and demand from those people who represent us and get what we want, then we will forever be subject to whatever they want. And so it's the same thing. If you as an audience member are like, yeah, I don't care about those background guys, so I'm just going to watch this whole show that is done with AI. Because if SAG doesn't stand with them, and me as an actor, I don't say, I'm not doing something with full AI.
Right.
I can't be party to it. I got to change my job. I got to do, or we're going to make something together. That's the only way it changes. But that's it. Like, that's the answer, is how do we get you to invest as an audience member to what we believe is the fabric? And it's long time coming here, because we don't have mom and pop grocery stores anymore.
Hey guys, I apologize. I got to jump in. I got to jump off. I should have known an hour and a half wouldn't be enough time. Every time we do this, I think we have enough time. You guys can continue this. I will absolutely watch and and subscribe and listen to the
Rob's
podcast.
Gonna watch.
I'm just disappointed. I wanted to argue with him more about sports. I guess we'll just continue that in the group text.
That's gonna be like, that's gonna be like the Matt Damon on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
like we're just gonna continue teasing that moment.
Oh, I had other things I wanted to get to, and just, it happens every time. We snowball and start talking about other things, but I have to pick my son up in 15 minutes. Yeah. So you guys can continue. I will absolutely listen to it. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for coming on, but I got to run.
Rob, I think what you're trying to say is, if I can change and you can change, we can all. There he goes. Son of a bitch. I was trying to bring it back around
relationship
with the Rocky IV. Sorry.
There is no tomorrow.
Exactly. That was my high school playlist, like all through high school. It was just fucking Rocky IV and movie soundtracks, just nonstop.
And like, how do you not like get ready for your football game? Anything from Eye of the Tiger to
There's No Easy Way Out. Yeah.
Yes.
So I live in a college town, and 4 of the houses that are around us, they're all, triple deckers, right?
Oh yeah.
And the house behind us has a huge penis. No, they have a huge fire escape, right?
Yeah.
And it was the summertime, and the college kids are coming back. They're moving in, and I'm in the backyard with my wife and my kids, and I think my mother-in-law was out in the backyard. And I have, the Alexa devices all around the yard, and we're playing music or whatever. And 4 kids try to move a full-size sleeper sofa out the back door down this fire escape. And we are watching these nimrods try to do this, and it's horrible. So I'm not kidding. After like 10 minutes of them struggling, at one point they had someone's mom at the bottom of the couch by herself on the fire escape. Yeah. So we're sitting there watching this, and we're having, a great time watching it. And I said, Alexa, play There's No Easy Way Out. And I put it on 10, the volume on 10.
Yes.
And these 3 assholes, they turn, they look over their shoulders and look at me. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, let's fucking go. They moved it. They did it. It's a big motivator.
That is so good. I might have to. We have a playoff game. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or next week, but I'm just looking outside to see if it's raining still. Stopped raining. It's beautiful outside right now.
You guys have had horrible rain, haven't you, lately?
Yeah, I mean, and like honestly, I generally laugh when I hear about weather here, but this was. I mean, we had flash flooding. Some kid got pulled into the river. Like, it's not like
biblical.
It was no joke. Like, you don't see the LA River. It does its job usually. Like, you just don't see it. And if you do, it's so low, it's not that big a deal. It was coming out of, 20-foot high walls that are, I don't even know how many gallons go through there. But I mean, it was pumping. You should look at it. It's like, it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Wow. So I own my own production company. I've been running it for 21 years.
Yeah.
And I make commercials, and we do features, and we do documentaries. We do all sorts of stuff. I also own a prop rental business here in Massachusetts for military and law enforcement equipment. So I have over 800, prop rifles and SWAT gear and all that stuff. And so I'm constantly doing the dance with people that are in the union, that when shows come to town, they contact me to rent stuff.
Yeah.
And these guys that are just prop handlers in Massachusetts, they don't think they have like a problem with me existing, because they don't. Yeah. And I try to explain it, which is funny, because they're, when you look at them on social media, these kids are like, they're young kids.
Yeah.
They're putting lamps and shit into sets. If they're lucky, they're handling rubber guns in a movie.
Yes.
It's nothing serious,
Yeah.
And they don't understand that, prop houses are everywhere. And if a studio is smart, they'll get it here instead of renting it from ISS, putting it on a tractor trailer, bringing it across country, having someone sit on the truck for 24 hours and then ship it back to California.
Yeah.
Like, everybody talks about the bottom line. Well, we have everything that you have here, so why would you go anywhere else? The problem is there's so many people in the business that try to keep other people out.
And, oh God, it's terrible. And they're full of shit. Like people who say there's something, and if it's that, the squeakiest wheel gets the oil. I see that and have seen that. Luckily, I'm with, like Josh Roth, like our prop master, unreal. Really, 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 really exceptional. And then you get to, somebody who's not doing a super high budget. And I'm not talking about like a $10 movie. I'm talking about a couple million, which is not small change. And they're cutting corners at areas where you're like, no. Don't bring in the red vines. That's cool. But if you go and decide you're going to bring in some, guy who watched a bunch of videos and got his, security guard license as your prop guy, because he bought a security vest off of Temu. Get out of here, dude. Like, it's scary. Like, I'm very fortunate. I've worked with great ones on, you know, Cowboys and Aliens, and then somebody who taught me, like, refined and made my draw something that I could use to get me a job in Thel Reed, who had done, you know, Appaloosa and 310 to Yuma, and taught all those guys how to draw.
Yeah.
And that is one of the probably deciding factors.
And he necessarily
didn't
hand those skills down to his daughter.
No.
That's literally just the conversation that you had. You said, you know, you go for these guys that are well trained and they're in the business for so long, and then you get these people that come along that, you know, don't necessarily have all the experience, and you put that together, it's a deadly mix.
Absolutely. And it's you know, people are like, oh, you're just a cowboy. It's you just play that because that's who you are. I'm like, no, are you out of your mind? That is literally not. I couldn't make a living being a cowboy. You in, like, what world do you live in that's like somebody's this image of a cowboy, so he just goes plays that guy? That's not it. I work at what I do. You know what I mean? And it's just like you work at what you do. You want a pro there. You know, like the idea that we're going to go from rubber to CGI was preposterous.
Right.
Because even in space, we deal with real things. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, it's just, it's like gun laws. It's like any laws. Like, if you don't enforce the rules or the laws, then what's the point of adding more?
Correct.
So we can have more bureaucracy of bullshit.
Correct.
Like, why don't we just make sure that we're doing the things that we are supposed to be trained to do, that we say we can do, that we follow the rules? Like, they're there. We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Correct.
We just have to make sure it's a wheel, not a fucking square.
Well, because when something goes wrong, people make a correction. They never issue the apology.
Oh, yeah.
They'll say, oh, well, you know, it broke down. Well, yes, there was a breakdown because no one followed the actual rules. So where's the apology?
Why is Vic Morrow dead?
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean? It's because someone decided that was the way to go.
How come John Landis is still around? How come? How come? Right? Boy, they got Spielberg out of there real quick, didn't they?
Yeah.
They got him out of there real quick.
Let's be, you know, let's open our eyes and look at, first of all, like,
children. Those are 2 children here illegally.
Let's go over to Ollie North. Was he the mastermind? Really? Come on.
Yep.
There's always the shill who'll take one for the team. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. But yeah, you're right. Like, why aren't we using you? Why isn't that not just the first thought, but that's a demand? Like, that's it. As a union, I should know that my union has my back. And while I don't want to be re-imaged in a computer, or if I write something, them get the idea of what I'm writing, and then they change enough to break a copyright law, I get it. But what about the idea that it doesn't even have to be AI? Can we just demand that we get the best, period? Like, that's it. Like, and I understand, hey, look, I got to find a cheaper one, but it still has to have a standard. It can't be cheaper in quality. It may not have the scope, but you're like, hey, look, I have 6 really good guns. I know exactly what I'm doing with these. I know how to use these. These are half loads. But this is what I can work with. And this is in your budget, this is what I can work with. That's it.
Right.
Then, you know, Marvel comes into town and you're like, I'm going to go to that same guy and he's going to go buy 150 more guns, which he's not familiar with and everything, because he got this big job, but he's not prepared for it. He has not trained anybody, as opposed to just going to you and saying, here, rather than take this unlawful death lawsuit, I'm going to make sure everyone's safe. I'm going to do the right thing. And I'm not going to play to a shareholder. I'm going to play to the world and to the humans in the world.
Yeah. Just to give you an example. So I'm running my production company by myself. If I bring people in, I contract with camera people and I hire people to do stuff. Other than that, I do my editing, my special effects. I do all my post-production on my own. If I need to do anything that's above my pay grade, I use other contractors to do things like that. So last week I had to do a coffee commercial. Okay. And the concept is it takes place, it's an American Revolution themed coffee commercial. And I had to do my storyboards, and I can't draw to save my life. And I used an AI storyboard generator, and I storyboarded my entire project in less than an hour. And they were sensational. And it's my first time I've ever done it.
Yeah.
And I put them in the computer. I formatted them. I printed them out, and all I had to do was write my shot notes next to my storyboards. And on the day of the shoot, I handed them to my buddy, my camera guy, and I said, "This is what we're doing." And for the first time in a very long time, he got to see what was pretty much in my head that I wanted to see. You know what I mean? You could adjust a little bit for what you're trying to do there, obviously, but that was a great tool to be able to say, here it is. And I could have never done that. If I wanted to hire someone, it would have taken weeks for me to do that, to make notes and make changes in the back and forth and stuff like that. So,
and cost effective, it's not.
Exactly.
Wow, I just did a Yoda. Cost effective, it's not.
It's rubbing off. It's rubbing off.
But I hope he doesn't. That'd be gross. I don't know if I can get it out of the suit.
Around very low. It'd be very low.
No, but like so I look at that and I go, okay, there's technology that makes it. We use previs.
Yes.
Where they literally animate exactly what the first season I saw it a lot. Second season I saw it a little bit less, but just as much. We had it for every episode.
Right.
For everything we've done, which is the same thing. They still have a storyboard artist.
Right.
But that's choice. You know what I mean? Like they get to make that choice. They don't have to have it. I still believe like Taylor Sheridan,
let's do this, and someone like rips one off real quick, you know?
Yes. I mean, look, Dave's Ahsoka.
Right.
I saw all of his hand-drawn stuff.
Yeah.
It helped him create the images that he wanted. So that's just what he does. Correct. I do the same thing with my characters. Yeah. Like I will either draw it or I will go through on like whatever, I don't know, on the computer and find images that do something for me in regards to that thing.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever I'm working on. But like for me, that's where technology, you have to, especially, again, it's a choice too. So you have the choice. Taylor Sheridan talking about, I don't need 12 writers in a room for this show. I don't. That. I write the show. And he should have absolute ability to do that. Yes. I don't. So it's, to me, it's, you have to fight for the choice.
Yeah.
You can't fight to negate it. I couldn't fight to negate AI. They can't just say, look, if you want to do this, you have to sign off on AI. I have to be able to make that choice. And it can't be the choice of, well, either you do this or you don't get this job. Like, that's just not
correct.
Like, I don't think that's a choice. I think that's, I don't know. What do you call it? Oppression, you know? It's
giving you an ultimatum.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look, I'm the top. This is the only way you're going to, put food on your table. If you don't do this, bye.
Right.
And you're like, wait, I'm signing away my future work. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I get where it's, so to me, those are like no brainers. Like you have to be able to do that because we're always going to get efficient and we need to. It's just the way it is. Because
I don't want anybody to lose their jobs because someone's going to come in and, and if people think that nothing has been written by AI over the past however many years, you're crazy.
Yeah. You're out of your mind.
And it's still going on now. If there's a guy who,
and I bet there's writers who have used it.
Of course. if you're some poor bastard who has a deadline and his kids are sick and he's home and you got to come up with 2 pages by tomorrow,
come on.
Guess what? It's happening. You know, but the thing is, like, even if you put in an idea, say you had writer's block and you put in an idea and it spits something out and you said, okay, that gives me a foundation for something, or that springboarded me to the next idea or something. Okay.
But again, that's your choice.
But people think Skynet, they think a server and just emailing out stories, right?
Yeah, but hold on. But how about this? They never get submitted to them. They haven't paid a dime for.
Right.
And I'm talking about Skynet production.
Yeah.
They can drop that and never have paid a dime, and AI can make the changes that allow it to be just enough that it's not infringement. And that's where I go, I don't know how you stop it. And I don't know how you fight it.
Right.
I just don't have enough intelligence to be able to say, oh, well, this is the thing we fought for, that ability. I just don't know. I go, that's a tough one, because we have to find a way to protect that.
You're talking about regulation. How do you regulate the normal rules that aren't set? How do you regulate the normal laws?
Yeah,
and if the whole thing is it can't regulate itself, we need the former governor of California to come in and destroy it. It's the only way that we can do it.
Absolutely, and you know, Johnny Ringo and the whole deal. Let's go. But like
Johnny Ringo.
I mean, you ain't no Daisy.
I'd prefer Johnny Ringo versus the Terminator. That would be a terrific story.
So good. So good.
And Robert Patrick.
How about, like, that dude, Michael Biehn? Like, I just learned so much stuff because he did a show or something. I was watching it, and I worked with the guy. Like, he was incredible. And apparently I worked with him right after a traumatic physical event for himself. He had a stroke.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so, like, this dude was just aware enough of himself to know that he had to keep it within these lanes at that time. And what I thought was just an incredible intensity, it was even more like his singularity of mind is those things, you know, as an actor. Let's not get it twisted. Oh, he's back. Oh, good. You're doing it while you're driving. That's probably epically good.
I just had to see if you guys were still in here.
Hey, do yourself a favor. That sounds weird. Roll up your windows when you get. Now I'm down by your junk. This is not okay.
Roll up your windows. Hey, you know what? Open the moonroof too while you're at it. Yeah. Here he goes.
Wait, what's it like right now? Honestly, what is? Oh, that's nice. What is that?
It's 42 degrees and sunny today. We're going to have a bit of a heat wave. Yeah.
Oh wait, which one of you lives in New Hampshire? You, Thomas?
No, Rob lives in New Hampshire.
Robert. So why did you forsake your mass hole?
He was born in Billerica,
Rhode Island. He was born where?
Billerica, Mass.
Oh.
I grew up in Mass. I live in New Hampshire now.
Yeah. So why'd you move to New Hampshire?
My parents moved to New Hampshire when I was in high school. And then my wife is from New Hampshire, so we settled.
My wife.
Now wait, okay, so I want to go to New Hampshire, dude.
New Hampshire's amazing.
Yeah, like every time someone's always like I'm gone, but New Hampshire, like the people mountains. Talk about like, hey, if you're gonna go somewhere, New Hampshire's you gotta go.
You absolutely should.
Really?
Some of the best lakes in the country, cleanest lakes in the country in New Hampshire.
Not after I get there.
No, on New Hampshire, hunting, fishing, boating,
how about just being able to see the fucking stars,
dude?
No sales tax.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't eat. Oh. I am Gavin New.
Yeah, don't mention taxes. It's not working out so well. I'm sure everything will work
Everyone
itself
thinks
out.
I
You
make
guys
a
will be
bunch
fine.
of money in Hollywood. I'm like, I make a third of what I'm supposed to make
Yeah.
because Gavin's got his hand so far up my ass. He fucking brushed my teeth.
Yeah. You're better
Imagine
off
how
just...
Shohei Ohtani feels.
Oh my God. Shohei. Hey, that's going to be a good one.
We're getting
Wait,
some...
why is everybody frozen?
I don't know.
What's going on?
Rob has a mobile connection. I don't know. It's spotty. He's gone behind a butte. Rob's driving so fast.
You guys
he can't keep up with the 5G.
Yeah. I love right there. That's beautiful. Oh, wow. That looked like a late night of drinking shot.
Jesus Christ. Where's Al Cowling when you need him?
The only place we could get an AC reference.
Hopefully it has the exact same ending for Rob.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep much longer, Brendan. It's been almost 2 hours, buddy. We super appreciate you doing this. You're such a great guy. Very affable, and we appreciate it. We love watching what you're doing. My kids said right before I got in the podcast, they said, "Who you having on the show?" I said, "Brendan Wayne, the guy that's the Mandalorian." And my daughter goes, "Tell him he's doing a good job."
Oh my God. Hey, like,
I said, I will.
You know what?
Yeah.
That means more to me, and I think than most people would ever get. But like, wow, that means a lot. Tell her thank you. I really do appreciate it. It helps me go when it's really tough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You got a lot of fans out there. My mother too. My mother's always watching. She loves. She's the reason why I'm doing all this stuff. So
I love it, man. Well, you keep on keeping on, and don't fucking let the man get you down, and don't let a union boss you around. Be you. That's it.
Hey, that's what I'm being me. It's all I can be.
Yeah. And I appreciate it.
So
by the way,
yeah,
that's Busta Rhymes' signature on his album. A fan sent it to me. One of my friends now, but like he sent it to me. A signed album by Busta Rhymes.
No shit.
Yeah, Star Wars brings you a lot. It brings you a lot.
That's
it really does.
You never know who's a fan.
Nope. And I got a box of Cheerios that say Din Djarin on them.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. That's
hilarious.
Sick. Look at this. Can you see that?
Fantastic.
My Din Djarin Cheerios there. That's better. There we go. God, I like when I coach these. Okay, we're done. But listen, when I'm coaching these kids in soccer and I get my phone out and start doing something, they literally go, "You are literally such a dad right now," because theirs is like like the way I pull my gun. They're like, I'm like, just hold on. Fucking asshole.
Luckily the Glock doesn't need facial recognition to operate.
Hey,
not yet anyway. Not
my 1911.
Anyway. Good man.
I dropped my Joe Kelly Dodger baseball
classic.
Kelly. Come on.
Look. It's a great look.
Brilliant. All right. I'll talk to you later. Let's do this again soon.
All right, man. Thanks again. We appreciate it.
All right, brother. Later.
Take care, everyone. Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was episode 70 of the Two Critical Podcast, and it was a long one. Might break it into two, might not. Thank you so much, Brendan Wayne, for being here. Thank you to Rob. For what? I'm not sure. We sincerely hope you enjoy the show. And remember, people, no matter who you are and what you do to live, thrive, and survive, there's still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, everybody. Thank you for watching the show. Please like and subscribe. If you like us, tell your friends. If your friends like us, get some new friends.